Multiboxer World of Warcraft update. So I have spent quite a long time playing about with the server, getting it ready. I have been naturally playing 2 mages, 1 warlock, 1 priest, and I have to start the warrior next. But I've rewritten most of the Multiboxer that you've previously seen on the channel to take on a much more simple form. So we have a profile, and the profile has the account names, the type of character, so mage, warlock, druid, whatever, the account password, and then some information about how I want to log on, some delays, some bits and bobs. I'm going to expand that over time. The next thing is this all new written keyboard monitor. So the keyboard monitor works by checking into the Windows substrate of the keys. It actually uses get key state to work out the state of a key on a cycling pattern. It uses a lambda thread to do this for me. Excuse me. And from that then I get an updated status of whether keys are down or up. It's a lot smoother than the previous way I had doing it. The next thing is pretty much unchanged. This is the Windows monitor, which monitors where I'm placing the client screens, stores them for me, opens them and sizes them, things like that. Then there's the actual clients themselves. So I have to open the positions controller before I open the clients, because the positions controller starts to watch and make sure that the windows are going to the right place. And we have a list of the clients, and I have this helper to start all the clients for me. And all this does is, for each account in my profile, it launches a copy of the game, and then it looks for the position and sets the position of the window, or sets the position up newly and adds that window back into the controller, the monitor, and then actually performs a log on. And logging on, we send an input sequence to the window. We then press return to enter the password and go into the character select screen, and then when we're in the character select screen, we press enter again to allow it to boot up. It's by and by. So the meat of the program, the actual meat of it, so we have this main loop while we're not exiting, and to exit I've now added the ability to use control and escape to just quit out, and we go through and turn the current set of keys that are down into a list of commands. So that might be pressing the numpad number 5 to make them all start their DPS, or number 6 to start their healing, or I think it's numpad insert to actually select the leader and enter to make them follow me. Whatever the command is, this turns those keys, so whichever key, into an action, and all the actions have been given a useful name now. So I have selecting a leader, following a leader, sheep 1, sheep 2, buffer group, eat, drink, accept group, idle, shuffle, which just makes them move on the spot so they stop following, bubble, which is just paladin bubble or power word shield, DPS, which is just starting the DPS rotation, dots, starting any power word, shadow word pain, or in the case of the warlock, all its things, dispelling things, AoE. Now AoE is slightly different. It makes them march up to the leader and dump a bunch of AoE and then walk back again. Heal over times, directly heal the leader or heal the whole group, shackle, and silence. And this is going to be expanded. The big thing I want to get done is some sort of tool to actually allow the configuration of the client action that we're aiming for, whatever we want them to do, to be mapped to a known key, and that key have a useful name, instead of, as you see right now, I've got a comment and then the raw key number, which isn't useful at all. It's by and by. So once we've got that list of commands, then we perform them. The only special thing is we have, for each client, we then deliver the commands. But if we're delivering a sheep or a silence, we check whether it's the first or the second in the group, because the mage has to perform select leader and then target of target to perform a sheep. What it actually does with sheep 2 is it will actually pick a different target, which is just by tabbing to a new target. And if there isn't any of those special ones, it literally just queues the action for use. And the action queue is very simple. It just performs each of these tasks, whatever they may be. And that's what we need to expand some more of. Apart from that, I'm going to be sorting out the account some more and playing about. So let's just test run it. I haven't built it in a few minutes. You can see the Git changelog here. So this is the profile. So there we go. It should be a lot quicker and a lot slicker than it was before. The server's not running, so it won't log on to anything. There you go. That's the first game. And it's trying to log on. Obviously it can't. Interestingly, you can see the change codes for the keys coming up in the program from when it actually injects its own key presses. So I must make sure that I don't have a key inbound that's going to result in a key outbound under the cyclic thing. I've got to be careful of that. So that's the second one. Then we just sleep and wait. Here's the third one. Droid 3. So they're called Droid 1, Droid 2, Droid 3, but the characters have got names. The main one being the priest, Gehalis. The dwarf warrior that I've started is called Kazrak. Nice dwarven name, I think. Here's the last one anyway. There it is. So that's my test. I'm happy that that now works. And if I were pressing these keys, we should see things going up and down. So I've actually got some breakpoints, which I didn't expect. But if we press keys, so if I press 1, see 49, 50 for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you'll see it's now very simple in what it was doing. Previously, the way I was doing the keys was much more complex. It was taking a whole array of the async key state and then doing diffs and then doing an STD difference on the 2 patterns I got. And it was just a mess. This is very simple. It just loops from 4 to 255, checking each key state whether they're down or up. And compares that from the last cycle to now, so I know they've gone from up to down or down to up. What I do need to do though is, while they're down, they'll currently activate and activate and activate and activate those commands. So in here, when we come to process keys to command, it just says if key is down. So while that's held down, it will be generating commands. That's wrong. We don't want that. We only want it when it's changed over. So we need to do a differential here. We need to get a down, changed during this duty cycle, and then literally ignore them next time round, or some sort of how many times have I inspected that key down, etc., etc. Key down will be very useful for that. I'll do it all in key down. It'll be seamless to this code. If we're checking key down and it's still down, or the number of requests is not 0, it will return false. I'll make some hidden parameter that does all this for me. In fact, let's do it now. So is key down is const. I don't want it const anymore. Can't be const, which means that the hardware, the keyboard monitor that we're using there can't be const either. This key down. Keyboard monitor, key down. Can't be const. So key states. Key states. So this is key state, which is just a bool. So we probably want to have this as a std pair. current state and the number of times it's been read back. And let's just build that and let the build flush them out for us rather. Lazy programming, that's fine by me. Oh. What happened there? I'm really baffled. I thought I'd change code then. Edit, find in files, using key state. There are two of them. One in key monitor.h. Oh, okay. Alright, okay. These shouldn't be in here. Shouldn't be there. That's fine. Need a semicolon. Okay, so key state will be std make pair. So that's making a pair of them. So state now is created. And this is now going to be second up first, which is really confusing, but I know what it's doing. So rather than just a pair, it could be a struct to give it a useful name, but for now we'll leave it like this. Okay, so is key down is where it's going to change. So is key down is if this is not the end, and then if L found second dot second equals 0, L found, and what we do is we go L found second increments every time we look. We'll call this is key just down. I will have key down just key just down. No, we're going to do it with the parameter, aren't So call this bool this cycle. So if p this cycle, do what we've just done, else L result is just the status, and in the keyboard monitor, key down comes to bool this cycle equals false. So it's just checking if it's down. Doesn't care about anything else. But in our processing in here, we do care. So in this code, we're changing that to comma true. So they should all give me is key down cycle true. Let's rebuild that. See where we've got to. Dot first. Dot first. Cannot change from bool. Second dot first. I forget what key change is doing. Key changing is telling us the previous state. I dot first. I dot second dot first. It's key state. So process key change takes a bool for the previous state. No, it doesn't. Rebuild that. Process key change takes the second. Cannot convert this pointer from. So this needs to not be const because we're changing a value inside monitor. So helpers process key commands is not const. Build that again. This key down is moaning a lot. Because of the consting. Don't know what I just changed. So I changed check for class. Needs to not be the check for class change. What's const? Build. I hate warnings. So we will just correct that with a static cast. I don't care about the loss of precision either. It's fine. Pair none with two overloaded types. Key receiver X memory. Yeah, where from? Note pair X tree. See reference function template. Key state. I'm going to guess I've got a key state being created. By default, no, it's a pair. It can't be created by default. Key state now. Key state. It's a make pair. It's the only time I make a key state. I think. Two overloads can't convert all the arguments. This is something I hate about Visual Studio, that it takes you off into these strange places for this. Because X memory 0 line 856 is not what I've been coding on. It's here. I'm sure it's here. cheeky. I just chop that up. Oh no, something else is unhappy. So it isn't that. Well, it's not that per se. So key state. Right, key state. Key states is blank. Key states. That should be std make pair false 0 for the default pairing. There we go. Visual Studio didn't tell us where that was. Did you see that? It's terrible. Anyway, let's run it again. So now we should only see a state change, so a key change for a command if the command count is 0. We've not looked for that key before this cycle. So I believe that will work. What I don't believe will work is, I've still got all clients open. Those are. When it needs to change, the state now becomes 0. We have changed true. That's fine. So yeah, that ends this little video update of however long it's been. I will post another video alongside this of some gameplay of the characters on the server. Do stop by for more on the Multiboxer. We'll talk a little bit about the key delivery system. So this is how I'm sending keys with input. So I'm using send input. The special source being how I target the window, which I'm not sure on the legalities of sending because of some of the usage people could put this to. I, of course, am playing on a private server. We will be talking about that as well. And the next video has some info about the tools. Do stop by again for more about the Multiboxer. Speak to you all soon. Got to look over here and turn it off. It's too hot in here and I wish the wife wasn't in bed.